Hi, welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. I'm Jackie.
I'm husband Glenn.
He's my husband Glenn.
Before we get started with this review, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell notification so you don't miss any of our reviews.
And if you like listening to audiobooks, click the link in the description for a free 30-day trial of Audible.
Now to our review of Ready to Love.
Yes, Ready to Love. And this week, we started out, the women were in control last time. This time, Tommy lets the guys know that they're in control. And 2 ladies are going home.
2 ladies are going home. And my man Brian was like, yeah, buddy, we get to send somebody, home. He was excited to send somebody home. Like, he was ready to just throw down and send people like, hey, it's time to cut some dead weight.
Yeah, I think it was the control thing more than anything. But what Tommy let them know is, this time, don't just focus on chemistry. Well, focus on chemistry, not just attraction.
Yeah, I mean,
because obviously some people you're attracted to off the top.
Off the top.
Like, you like, oh man, she's fine. Oh, he's fine, you know. But he's like, now you got to see how you vibe with people.
Yeah, see how you vibe and how you flow, and you know, and California been flowing with a lot of people.
Yeah, but he said he had the most chemistry with Denise.
With Denise, and I know your guys don't like that because y'all think Denise is troublemaker. So just by your comments on previous videos, y'all think Denise is a mess. But he said he's vibing with her a little bit. They vibing.
Yes, I say she's a mess too. But he said he wants to spend more time with some other people. And I already know homegirl is not feeling it.
She's not feeling that. No, she's not gonna feel that.
So the guys come back and meet with the ladies, and you know, they're like, how you feeling? You know, Chris and Naya is talking, and Naya says, you know, she already got butterflies. She was feeling the little date her and Chris had.
Yes.
She got little butterflies, and she's nervous. She's like, am I putting in enough effort to, you know, kind of hold his attention? And so her and Chris get together later, and he was like, you know, did you know that I was going to try to kiss you? She said, oh, like this.
And she went in.
And she went in for the kiss. Okay.
She was ready. She was like, yo, she's feeling Chris. You know, they're as they mentioned later on in the show, and I'm going to go there. They already know they want to be with each other. They don't want to be with anybody else. They already put their feet in the ground and they grounded. They already went on a little kayak together. They had a nice little romantic date. She knows there's nobody else feeling her. And truth be told, look at it. Nobody else is feeling her, and nobody else is feeling Chris. We haven't seen them interact with anybody other than themselves.
No, yeah, she said that. She was like, nobody else is feeling me.
Nobody's feeling me, but they're together, so we can say they're day one. Yeah,
they're like, who was the couple on? It was Darren, and the comedian lady from last season.
Shima.
Yeah, Darren and Shima. Shima was like off the top.
Yeah.
That's my man.
That's my man.
And Darren was like, that's my chick.
Yeah, but he did end up later going out with somebody else, Tommy,
he did,
for a minute.
But that's because Tommy, like on this episode, he's telling them to explore your options. Yeah. So he felt it out, but Shima was like, nah. But that was last season. But I don't think we're going to have that problem with Naya and Chris. They really feeling each other. They kind of like stuck like glue.
Yeah, stuck like glue.
Jay and Simone, they kind of have a chit chat, playing a game. And she thought he was cute from day one.
Yeah, and it gives a flashback of when he was talking to Winter.
Yes.
And Simone came over like pretending she had a phone call or something important. Like, can you come with me? And he got up, and she really just wanted to take time to talk to Jay. Said she was feeling him from day one.
Right.
You know, and you know, Simone's a lawyer, so she's smart. She know how she want to play and how she want to do it.
Yeah, he said you Southern belled me.
Yeah.
You came like you was
Willie Gilbert.
A damsel in distress.
Yeah.
Can you come talk to me over here, please? Well, she didn't even say that. I need some help with something over here.
And he was like, yeah, what's up? He said, I ain't mind.
And then she was like, boom, I just wanted to talk to you.
He like, I ain't mind, I ain't run back or nothing like that. So he enjoyed the conversation. So we see their dynamic in this episode was pretty good, what you could say. Pretty interesting.
And Simone said her conflict is that I like Joy as a female friend, so I almost kind of feel like I'm stepping on her toes when it comes to Jay, but everybody got to feel each other out.
But you're getting to the point where it's competition now. Because
it was competition from jump.
But it's starting to get serious. When you start sending people home, and you know people are gonna eliminate it, you need to step your game up.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you need to elevate where you at because Jay's hanging out with Joy, they feeling each other, spending quality time. And if you Simone and you ain't spending time with nobody, they can say like when the brothers start getting in the room to having a conversation, they be like, "Yo, I ain't feeling her. Hey, you been out? Ain't nobody been out with Simone, so guess what? She got to go."
Yeah.
But we know I got somebody like that. When we get to that point, I know who should need to go.
Right.
I know who need to go.
Right. So then we see Denise playing pool with her number one, Calfani. She all about Cal. She trying to do with Calfani like Chris and Naya.
She trying to mark her territory.
But it's a lot of people feeling Calfani. See, that's the difference. It ain't a lot of people feeling. If somebody feeling Chris, they ain't really out about it.
They ain't talking about nothing.
You know what I'm saying? But everybody like Calfani.
Calfani's putting himself out there. He big bruh. He swole on him. He got as they said later when he went to the pool, he got the 9 packs. They were sitting there watching the brothers work out, and he doing special push-ups. He push up and clap. Push up and clap. Push up and clap. He doing extra. So he putting himself out there.
But
I ain't mad. He putting himself out there. So look, if everybody feeling him, it's because he entertaining them.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel different ways about that. Maybe some of it is entertainment, it's for the cameras, for the ladies. But I don't know. He like they say, he kind of like a gym rat. I think he probably do that anyway.
Yeah, alpha male. He want to be the top dog in everything he do. So, bro, y'all gonna do regular push-ups. I'm gonna show you what I can do. I can do push-ups and I go Superman on you. Push up and go Superman on you.
But Denise is feeling the Superman, but Adriana's like, she come interrupt their pool game. Let me talk to you over here. Off the rip, Denise was like,
Denise was hot, dog.
Here she go.
Denise was hotter than an egg on a hot summer day. Denise was hot. She was mad at him. She did double take her neck. If her neck could spin around like Beetlejuice, it would just spin around. But hey, she was mad.
But Adriana checked him out because she said Rashid is her usual type, but in this space, I want to get out of my usual type. And I think her thinking is right on track. Because when you come to a place like this, where you're ready to love, you're looking for love, you have to realize that, okay, so maybe my choices, what I would usually go for, is not working out.
True.
So let me try something different.
And she also said it wasn't a surprise because she said Rashid was her number 1 and Calfani was her number 2.
She did.
So it's not like she just did it, somebody might be, she just did it because Denise said something about Rashid. Nah, but she had always said Rashid was 1 and Calfani was 2. So she wanted to test the water a little bit with Calfani, laid up on his chest, tested his chest like, ooh.
Man, Denise's face, man, you could have bought and sold her for a nickel.
Yeah.
She was like not feeling it at all.
So she didn't want to leave though. I mean, she was feeling. Adriana was like, "Yo, I need to get out of your arms because I'm feeling too good. Just feeling comfortable,
Denise said she looked like a cheap floozy.
Yeah.
She was big mad. If she had a cape, she'd be super mad.
She was super mad.
So then we see somebody we haven't seen a whole lot of. We see Alicia. And she's talking to Brian. She wants to talk to Brian since Brian's in her top. And she was like, she let him know, I was kind of salty when I found out that you and Alex shared a kiss. Like, I'm like, he on my list. You don't be kissing her.
Right off the bat, I saw she was aggressive. She look, she's an independent woman. She know what she want, and Alicia's not gonna play no games.
Right.
She ain't taking no shorts.
Yeah. Brian said, not in there with Alicia, but in his conversation, he said the thing about it is, you have a short time and it's a lot of people, and you have to be authentic with everyone, but at the same time, authentic in your interactions, but at the same time you have to have a lot of interactions. So it's a balance. There is a balance they're gonna have to do.
It's a catch-22.
Yeah. Then, like you said, you mentioned with the guys working out and Denise and Joy enjoying the view. Looking at the bros work out. And so Joy and Denise are talking, and it's like, are you just gonna focus on Calfani? Is that's what's up? She said she might go out with Anthony, and then she gonna say I might go out with Rashid, just cause. Like, you already called. He got narcissistic characteristics.
Hold on. Here's
you know what it is. We know what it is. Go ahead.
It's not about Adriana. Here's the play. She said Rashid reminds her of somebody she used to mess with. So she may not be over the person that she's messed with, even though he probably abused her and did all this other stuff.
That's possible.
And so now she's like, you know what? It's like you know you ain't supposed to be eating chocolate candy or chocolate cake, but you sneak down there and grab a piece anyway. That's why Rashid is in her play. Well, I might be wrong, but he do remind me of somebody. Let me go ahead and see if it is.
Yeah, but I think a little bit of that was about Adriana.
I get a little bit.
Because Joy and Denise talk about that. It was like, you know, when you said something about Rashid, you feel like Adriana got a little upset. She was like, yeah, she was upset, but I just know what I saw. I know what I see.
And you know, when they had that talk later, she sees it based off of what she thinks, because she don't know him.
Right.
She's going off of what she picked up on, you know, out of her own insecurity. I can say insecurity, out of her own radar. Yeah,
which goes to the next conversation. So, several of the folks have a pool date, and Rashid's on that again. You know, what's better than pools and bikinis? And us in our little, you know, swimming trunks or whatever. But so it's Simone, Denise, and Adriana, and then there's Rashid, Calfani, and Edwin. And so they're playing a little bit of
pool volleyball.
Yeah, pool volleyball, and Denise is all over the place.
Here's Denise athleticism and competition comes in. This wasn't about anybody else. Denise didn't want to lose.
But you know what?
Denise doesn't want to lose, so she's, guess what? You know what? I'm the athlete out of the bunch. Instead of just sitting back, having fun, relaxing, let everybody enjoy the moment.
Right.
That competitive nature kicked in. Remember, she's a college athlete, track star, you know, all this other stuff. So that competitive nature kicked in, and she's like, you know what? It's on me. I need to do this.
But I'm like Adriana said, like, you know, it's one thing. Like, that's the worst kind of athlete to have on your team.
Yeah.
The athlete that feels like they have to do everything to hold the team up, but then at the same time, while they doing everything, they like, where y'all at? And Adriana's like, I can't get to the balls because you spiking them.
Yeah.
But you telling me I ain't doing no work, but you're not giving us a chance to do the work, man.
Stay in the back, B. I mean, stay in the back. Stay in the
you
back.
know what I'm saying?
You know?
So, but Calfani noticed that Denise was holding it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Adriana kind of looked at it differently, like, God dog, girl, for real. Well, on the side of that, after the game, Adriana sitting there talking to Rashid about Denise's conversation.
Yeah,
Simone is in on Edwin on the conversation.
Edwin, Simone, Denise, and Rashid have a conversation. They sit there and talk. And, you know, Adriana brings up what most of you guys was thinking in the chat. Thanks for commenting last week, and what we was thinking too. Is it a light skin, dark skin thing?
Right.
Is it light skin, dark skin? Why is she feeling the bruh? Is it because, and you know, is it because he's in a frat? You know, is it all that? And so she was like, you know, and Rashid, I ain't say he was emotional. And when I say emotional, he shared his feelings like, yo, I'm tired of people saying light skin. I've never been those things before in my life.
Right.
I've never been classified as being narcissistic. I've never heard that about myself. You know, and he was saying, okay, it's a light skin thing. Like, what did I do? You know, women get judged because of their color of their skin, what kind of hair texture they have, if they're light, dark, whatever case. But he said, bruhs get that too. And I just want to let you guys know it's not fair whether it happens to you or it happened to me. I don't think it's right, and I don't think I feel some type of way about that.
Yeah, and so they talked about that. It was like, do you think it's a light skin, dark skin thing? And you know, Adriana kind of was like, well, I kind of feel that way. She said you was narcissistic, but everything she talked about was physical stuff.
Yeah.
It wasn't really anything you said. It wasn't really anything you did. It was just you.
You in a frat, which is known to be pretty boys, and you light skin, and you know you just happen to be you're a luxury car dealer, and you got a little paper, and you talked about your money and where you shop at.
Yeah.
So she think you a high maintenance, high price dude.
Yeah, but Simone could sympathize for the light skin stereotypes that she gets, and Adriana got the dark, and she's not even dark skinned, she's darker brown, but she says, I've gotten that before, from the other side. So
it's reality though.
It is.
It's reality, and it shouldn't be like that. We laugh when we look at movies like School Days when they try to bring it out, but it is stuff that still happens. Still today, in today's time.
But moving on from that, we see then Winter and Jay go out. Mm-hmm. And she mentions to him again the dream that she had where they jumped in the pool with all their clothes on. And, you know, they make the funny comment, you know, if you spend a lot of money on your clothes and you can't afford to get it wet, then you really can't afford the clothes.
Can't really afford the clothes.
But they talked about something. They had a nice little conversation. They talked about, are you practicing gratitude?
Yeah.
And so they was vibing on that. It's like, I practice gratitude, like I'm just being grateful.
Yeah, grateful for each day. I mean, she like, you know, I get so grateful to that. Sometimes I feel like I want to cry. Mm-hmm. Because, you know, when you sit back and look at it, appreciate what you have, appreciate maybe where you came from, appreciate what today holds, you may get a little teary-eyed, especially if you know that what you used to be or where you was at when the relationship you was in wasn't where you want your standard, and now you got somebody in your life where you got you're doing well financially, or you're doing well with your kids, or whatever the case may be. You be like, you know, God, thank you, or man, you know, that's great. Today's a great day. I'm feeling well. So both of them into that. Jay's into gratitude, and Winter's in gratitude as well. But she did something to Jay that never happened. He was like, oh, you got a little mark right there.
Yeah, what's that by your eye?
What's that by your eye?
He was like, well, dang, you observing? I see you checking out everything. But he basically was just like, you know, me and my brother, we was rambunctious kids, so we played around and, you know, it was rough. You know, boys can be rough. But
I thought that was real nice that she noticed, because that means she is paying attention to him and what she needs to do. So
yeah. So let's go back. We go back to Denise and Calfani, and you know they having them enjoying themselves by the pool, you know, chit-chatting or whatever. And Calfani's like, you know, I'm feeling Denise. We having a good time. We vibing. And she kind of ruined it. It was like,
kind of a little bit of psycho vibes there, though.
I seen you with Adriana. Wasn't really liking that.
And he was like, I'm just feeling everybody out. I'm in this game. I'm feeling everybody out.
But Denise was like, of all the people, you want to be hanging out with Adriana, the one to be smiling up in everybody's face. That's what she said.
She tried to put her out there like she was a floozy.
But she's just friendly and nice. She ain't grinning up in everybody's face for that. That's why Calfani called her Smiley. Because she just... It ain't my fault my fault.
How you doing?
It ain't my fault you all rough.
Yeah.
Rough and stuff.
Well, she ain't got no Afro puff, so.
Denise. But he said, you know, I'm feeling everybody out.
Feeling everybody out.
You know, and
it's a dating show. She gotta realize it is a dating show, though. It's gonna be something. You're gonna feel each other out. You wanna make sure that you're the right person. You ready for love. So if I'm just stuck on this person right here, and love may be in a room somewhere. And we saw that in last season. Not to go back. There was some couple who didn't even talk to each other, but now, they're married now. Mm-hmm. You know? And so you got to be able to feel everybody in the room.
Yeah. But he basically was like, you know, be confident about where you are. And, you know, if I go, you know, talk to somebody else, you know, I'm going to come back here. Yeah. Just, you know, I'm not like DXing you. You know, I'm going to come back to it. But, I feel like you kind of should, bruh.
But she may want to spend some time with somebody else, too, because if all she did was with Calfani, ain't nobody else vouching for her.
Right.
Ain't nobody else, it's a game, ain't nobody else going to vouch for you. At least, I feel if you got at least 2 or 3 people who's feeling you, you got a greater chance of staying around. When you just stuck on one person, and that person don't feel you anymore, you short. Mm-hmm. You short. So she may fall into that.
All right.
Now, then we have Alex and Brian. All right, they had their little date. They go out on, you know, I want to call it surfboards or wakeboards. That's what it's called. I think it's called wakeboards. The little boards where they can stand up and they can paddle. And neither one of them actually stood up. They stayed on their knees. It took a minute to get out there.
They should have got the kayaks like the other couple.
You gotta be adventurous. You gotta try something different.
But they didn't know. I was like, man, you'd be better off. They were struggling, paddling.
They was in the middle of the lake. They had their life vest on. They knew they weren't going to die. They were doing something different. So they end up having a good time. They started having conversations. So I like those two.
She said she had butterflies and rainbows.
She had butterflies and rainbows. And Brian is one of the guys. He talks real well. He's articulate. And he's calculating about what he says, and so he's giving her the answers that she wants.
Later on, he says he's got to be methodical.
You got to be methodical thing. So he's giving them what they want to hear, and that may come back and bite him in the butt. But right now, he's giving them what they want to hear, and she's all into Brian.
Yeah, and the one thing he said was, we out here both kind of struggling on the wakeboards, but I'm having fun struggling together. We're having fun struggling together. So here's so if Calfani is like the flavor of the week, I feel like joy is kind of the flavor of the week too. Everybody's feeling joy too.
You can always have a little joy in your life.
You
can always
but you better only have some Jackie.
That's all I have, Jackie. I got Jack. I got a J in my life. It's Jackie. I got joy, but not that joy. But
you got the joy unspeakable, but
yeah, buddy. But everybody likes Joy, man, and Joy because she's. You know what, Joy. When you look at Joy and you look at the most, she's not rambunctious. She's ladylike, the way she carries herself.
Yeah, that's true.
The way that she moves, she moves. She's almost like kind of like Divine from last season. I'm trying to be, go back. She's on her grown woman stuff. She's on her grown woman, and she's handling her business. And that's why it's that mystique and intrigue about Joy is why everybody like Joy.
It's because she got that. She's got a she's like a neoclassic soul female.
Everybody like that neoclassic soul.
She got the big hair.
Hey.
She's made up but not super made up. Yeah, she got the little shape and everything.
Yeah. Next.
Don't
Next.
you too hard.
Next.
But and so Edwin basically is like, Joy is like a Maserati.
Yeah.
So, how all the other car companies got all these commercials. Maserati, they don't have to do no whole lot. You
just gotta put a Maserati out there.
You just gotta put it out there.
And you can afford it, you go get it.
Yeah, it advertises itself. It don't need no commercials. That's what he said.
Yeah, she advertising for herself.
Yeah, and they talk, a good little conversation. How was your last relationship? And she talks about, when you're getting through relationships and how she advocates for therapy. And, he gets a little deep with it. He says, he's battled with death and dealt with some PTSD.
Yeah, coming back from Iraq.
Yeah, and working with the police department and everything. But he deals with it by cooking. That's his distraction. And how he had one therapy session. He's thinking about going to some more therapy. But they just really talk about how, therapy is good and getting through things and dealing with your issues, going from one relationship to another.
And she said something that was key. She like therapy save lives. And then when you got something out there that you're dealing with, talk to somebody. Get some therapy. Get some help. And that's what helped him. He said cooking basically saved him and helped him and find a place and purpose in life and gave him the mindset to relax.
But they had a nice little conversation.
Yeah.
He was feeling the energy, and Joy said he was charming, and she felt the energy.
Yeah.
And she said she wants somebody that just genuinely cares and wants to be with her. And, he's soaking it up. He was like, I hadn't really spent much time with her. Yeah. So I think they got a good feel of each other.
Edwin's that sniper. I'm gonna say he's that sniper where he's laying low. He's laying low, and when it's time for him to shoot, boom, he's there, and he's gonna. I see Edwin being there around to the end.
Oh yeah. They better look out for Edwin because he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Even keeled. He ain't trying to go overboard with the workout. He ain't trying to go overboard with the lovey-dovey. You know what I'm saying? I think he's really doing what they're there for, filling each other out. And, letting some out at a time. Like, he's not completely all out with himself, but when
you hear, you gotta be methodical with your shots. He ain't gonna be shooting. You can't shoot your shot everywhere. He ain't shooting a shot everywhere. He's being methodical and nice about what he wants. So can't knock that.
And so we just continue with Brian and Alex talking. She talks about what's one thing that he kind of like regrets or has a battle with, and he says the fact that I have a 3-year-old daughter and I don't see her as much. Yeah. And I want to be there more. So kind of hurts him. But he was some more transparent with her, and she was transparent in the fact that my issue is dealing with my vulnerability. Yeah. And so it's hard for her to be vulnerable coming from some past relationships, and she got a small wall up.
He's like, well, you're doing good now. Because she's talking. Because she's talking about her vulnerability. And, she's talking about her problems or issues. And he's like, yo, you're doing a good job because I appreciate you sharing that with me. And I'm listening to you.
And I want another smooch.
Yeah, I want another smooch. Yeah.
I want a continuation of the truth or dare. And she gives it to him. She give it to him. So we back at the pool party.
Yeah.
Rashid and Edwin are talking, and Rashid's like, my brother, you've been in law enforcement with everything going on with the defund the police and police corruption and stuff like brutality. How you feel about that? And so Edwin shares, I'm feeling like this and feeling like that, and man, the one person that we ain't seen nobody ask out.
Shay was like, I can't deal with this. It's too long. He's talking too much. He's talking too much. Shay hops up and she leaves, and he overhears us talking about it being too much, and he's like, yo, if I can't have a conversation with people
about the deep stuff,
then I don't want to have a conversation. Me personally, Shay's out. We haven't seen anybody have a connection with Shay.
We absolutely, ain't nobody took her to the side to chit chat and chew, to talk. I'm like,
nobody. Shay's there for vacation. Shay's there for a trip. She ain't there to find love. Shay's there to hang out.
Definitely I don't see nobody feeling her, but
her.
he noticed that and was like, wow.
Shay about to hit the brakes, in my opinion.
Yeah, because later on she's spying on folks.
She's spying on folks.
Messy Bessie.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Chris talks to the ladies. Again, are y'all a little apprehensive knowing that somebody might be going home? Of course. Mm-hmm. Of course, but again, he lets Naya know you good. You ain't got no worries. Don't worry about nothing.
Alicia like, you gonna cover her? He's like, yeah. Then she gives him a kiss. She's like, yo, that's number 4. Like, what?
They exchanged some lips, and everybody was like, ooh. She was like, oh, that's new for y'all. For us, we 4 deep now.
We 4 deep now. We 4 deep. We ready. She like, yo, she ready to roll.
Your little kisses, okay.
Yeah, get little kisses in.
Okay. But Winter's feeling Jay.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody knows, he kind of is there for Joy again. But Joy is like everybody's flavor of the day, flavor of the week. And I feel like Jay is a little bit too. But Winter says, me and Jay are having a good vibe until Joy comes around.
So she want to have a conversation with him, man.
Yeah.
So she gets a little private conversation. Now he cops up out the pool because everybody at the pool. He walks her into her room, and he's like, yo, come in, let's have a conversation. Now, we see Simone hanging out in the hallway. She sees Jay and Winter go in his room. She assumed because Jay had no shirt on. Winter had a little bikini bottom on. They go in the room. She assumed they getting ready to go do something. You know what happens when you assume, right?
He been not having no shirt on, sis.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
So, even when she get there, I'm going to skip to that part where she gets messy with Joy and Jay having a conversation. She comes and brings it up. And and like I said, Joy's a grown woman. She like, oh, she recognized, I don't know how this was awkward. Well, let me go ahead and move on. Let me go ahead and leave. Y'all go handle your conversation. Do what you need to do. And she was like, I know you like him, but I wouldn't have came that way. That was weird. Yeah,
she was like, I don't know if she was being sincere, like out of really concern to let me know where Jay is at, or was it let me try to bust they thing up so I can get with him.
But Joy wouldn't have none of that. Again, grown woman walks away.
And Jay kind of plays it off too, like, Simone is like, you had a nice conversation. He said, or did you learn something? And he looks at Joy like, I don't know, did I? Yeah. She said, I don't know, did you? I wasn't there.
Yeah, he played it smooth because she tried to start some mess, and he was like, I'm not even having that.
Yeah. So in that same vein, pulling somebody aside and talking to him, Adriana gets some cojones, and she said, I'm going to sit here, I'm going to talk to Denise. Because after she had her conversation with Rashid was like, I need to pull Denise aside because I thought we was cool. Which is funny because from this jump, the fact that Rashid would say, I thought me and Denise was cool is crazy because Denise ain't never.
But she remember they had that one conversation. She said something about the champagne, and it was kind of weird vibe there, but it wasn't like no evil vibe. It was just like a little weird.
But she wasn't feeling them anyway. But Rashid seemed like he was going to talk to Denise, but Adriana beat him to the punch.
Yeah, everybody was chilling around the campfire, doing s'mores, whatever. She had a nice time. She's like, yo, Denise, come here. Which I appreciate Adriana for doing that because it didn't linger on for like 4 or 5 episodes. And if this was a different show, instead of Ready to Love, and this was like, I ain't call it no reality shows, but y'all know, if it was some different shows, this would have went south.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't go south. They had a conversation.
Well, a little bit.
But they didn't get no fight. You ain't see no guys in black suits and black shirts come out and separate them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You ain't hear nobody call anybody out of their name. You know, but you did see a little tension, and she shared with her like, "Hey, this is what I'm thinking."
I mean, off the top, let's say.
Denise felt some type of way, like.
Oh yeah, when Adriana called her, I mean, Denise came out guarded, like what you want to talk about?
What you want to talk about, dog?
What you got to say to me? And Adriana was like, I talked to Rashid like I don't really like the way you try to characterize him. I wasn't really feeling that, and Denise was like, and what? I mean, I saw what I saw. I see what I see.
In my opinion,
I dealt with the narcissist. They kind of got the same kind of flavor, and I noticed sometimes people use certain cover-ups for their insecurities. That's what she said. That's
what she said. But she knows her problem is. She can't let go of her past. And we realized that because when she shares with Adriana, she talks about her past and how she was missing for 4 days and how this person did these things. And so she shared with that. And that's what kind of mended the relationship. Like, I feel sorry for Adriana. Like, I feel sorry for you, but he ain't him.
Right.
I feel sorry for you, but Rashid, don't take it out on Rashid. Because Rashid ain't who you try to be, who you really mad at. Which, that Denise still has some issues that she need to take care of.
Absolutely.
She got a lot of issues that she hadn't fixed, hadn't had issues that she had problems with, that she hadn't really dealt with.
Mm-hmm. So. But Adriana told her, it was like, you over talking me, you not letting me talk,
Yeah. Again, when you have a dominant person, she wanted to take control of the situation.
Yeah. But Adriana stood up for herself. She did good, and in the end, it was kind of rough waters for a minute. Mm-hmm. But in the end, like you said, they kind of got on the same page because Denise was like, you got to understand my story, my backstory, and where I'm coming from. And Adriana was like, I get it, you know. And, they kind of left it on good terms. She said, I got my triggers. And Rashid triggers that in me. But, and so Rashid saw what was going down, and he let Adriana know, thanks for checking up on the convo. I appreciate you good looking out, sis.
You my ride or die.
Not sis, but
you my ride or die.
Yeah.
Ride or die. That's what he said. He like, yo, you my ride or die.
All right, and so then we see again somebody we haven't seen people interacting with a lot, Miss Alicia.
I like Alicia.
She is aggressive though, and it's not the same kind of aggressive as as Denise, because Denise is aggressive, but
she's aggressive. She knows what she wants. She goes out with my man Brian. They have a conversation. She talks about her kids. Mm-hmm. Again, my man David went home last week because the conversation about kids. Brian was like, "Yo, I don't mind kids. How do you handle your kids? Are you rough with your kids? Not rough, but
are they spoiled?
Are they spoiled? Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, nah, they're not spoiled. He's like, man, you just backhand somebody.
Yeah, he said, I could see you going upside
the head.
One of your kids' head. He said, you might go upside my head.
And she was, I might choke you. What?
She was like, whoa, what?
I might choke you. Like, hold on, dog. We don't do that.
It was like a funny little thing.
Yeah, a little funny thing.
But she was letting them know I'm interested. I was waiting for you to ask me out, but you ain't asked, so I took the initiative. Which honestly, for real, I feel like Alicia was playing us. I don't feel like you wait for no dude to take the initiative.
I think she takes the initiative in every situation.
That's how I feel. That's how I feel. She's dominant. Mm-hmm. She's dominant. But he was kind of like, okay, I'm kind of feeling her. She said her thing was, he said, what makes you think you're ready for love? She was like, take care of my kids. I work. And, when it's time for me to go to bed, she said, I got to go to bed by myself.
Yeah, go by myself. Nobody wants to go alone to bed lonely.
No. So she was like, I'm tired of feeling, I want to feel fulfilled in that area.
Yeah.
I'm good with my kids, but I want to feel fulfilled when it comes to that. So, Brian later walks Alicia to her room.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
She was like, I got snacks.
I got snacks. She got Cheerio boxes in the room. She got some cheese
I thought that was cute. That's like a mama thing. Yeah, that's like a mama thing. She's prepared. She had her snacks. You want to come? You want to come and eat some snacks?
We laugh and jest, but Alicia, she got snacks in the room like she gonna be there for a long time.
Right.
She got snacks in the room like, yo, y'all ain't sending me home, dog. I'm gonna be here for a couple more weeks, a couple more days, because I got these snacks. We good.
And so they talked about, you know, their little interaction or whatever, and he's feeling her, but he's not sure about her.
Yeah.
He wants to keep his options open, which is what they should be doing in this. But here we go with the messy. He was like, you know, I'm gonna chat with you later.
Because she like, you
and
want
she
to
was
come
like,
back and watch a
you will
movie?
come back and watch a movie. He said, yeah, I'm gonna come back.
I'm
gonna come back. And so she closes her door and he walks down the hall to go chit chat with Alex.
With Alex, he knocks on the door. She opens. She's surprised because she got a little ball cap on. Shay knows him. And you know, they having a conversation. And here comes Shay come out in the hallway. Miss Nosy comes out in the hallway, see Alex and see Brian. And you know, she already knew that Alicia was on a date with Brian. So they have a conversation, and so they have a. So she see Alex. Yeah,
they having a conversation at the door. Alex is like, you know, where you go off to.
Yeah.
And for real though, he beat around the bush. He don't say he just finished talking to Alicia.
Nah, he don't say
He beat around the bush is like, yeah, wouldn't you like to know type of thing.
Yeah.
And Shay is listening to the conversation.
Is he supposed to tell her?
I think you should. It's a I mean.
Yeah, I was out on a date with somebody else.
Let's be real. We talk. You know, they was one of the ones talking about you got to be authentic.
Yeah, true.
In these interactions, so he'd be like, I mean, truth be told, I was talking to Alicia.
Yeah.
But I want to come holler at you and see how you was doing and tell you good night.
I want to tell you good night. I just can't say good night to you, you know. And then you got Shay creeping. Cause She ain't going on a date with nobody.
Ain't nobody
dating Shay. She got a lot of time on her hands. She ain't downstairs playing pool. Shay ain't at the pool. Shay not even in the kitchen. Shay not even in nobody else's room.
And she should be in the kitchen, because ain't she the chef?
She the chef. Shay ain't on nobody kayak or no wakeboard. Shay's in the hallway creeping, looking at what she can get into. She messy. So she go ahead and see Alex and Brian having a conversation. She runs back to Alicia like, yo.
Oh, he down there talking to Alex. You need to come see, girl.
Like, yo, hold on for a minute, dog. This is a competition again. It's not like they married. It's a competition. So she goes down there, and here come Alicia. She stepping through, like Oprah Winfrey through the cornfield on Color Purple.
You told hop
on the beat. She coming through there because she mad. Like, hold on for a minute.
Yeah, but she ain't so mad. She went to the room, though.
Yeah.
They was around the corner peeping him and saw him when he left.
He told me he still didn't come back to my room. He could at least told me that he wanted to see Alex.
Shay, messy
He just wanted to say night. No, he just want to say good night to his number one thing. Alicia may be his number two, but guess what? Shay didn't have to do that. Send Shay home just because of that.
Off the strength of that.
Off the strength of that. Ain't nobody messing with her. Who gonna vouch for her?
Nobody.
You know, it's like, so, you know, we see previews for next week. I know you were a little upset because we ain't get to send nobody home this week.
Yeah, they didn't send. Listen, we opened the episode talking about you going to send 2 women home and nobody left.
Now, you was a little upset. I understand. But it's all right, because next week you get some people go home.
Mm-hmm.
Next week we see a little bit of fireworks.
Mm-hmm.
Next week we see a little bit of arguments and conversation. Mm-hmm. Next week we get to see the 2, I think, going home. We get to see Simone and Shay. The 2 S's get up out of here. I ain't got no problem with Simone. I got an issue with Shay because Shay messy.
And ain't dating nobody.
I don't like mess. Now, that may save Denise, but then again, we might see Denise go out of here too.
Yeah, because she's getting right possessive.
Right, possessive. She got to talk to Calfani. So what you got to do, I think the bottom 3, in my opinion, the bottom 3 for next week, I got Simone, I got Shay, and I got Denise all in the bottom 3 next week.
Absolutely.
What the men would say, you know what, we might want to get rid of them.
Yeah.
The ones that I got going home, I got Shay, and I got Simone going home. I got Denise staying.
Shay definitely is going home. No, ain't nobody tried to talk to her nothing, so I think they definitely gonna send her home. I think Denise and Simone is gonna be a toss up.
Yep.
It's gonna be a toss up. We'll see.
We'll see. Hey, but if you got any questions, man, please leave a comment in the comment section. This Radio Love is heating up Houston. The Last Resort style. It's heating up a little bit. Right now I'm feeling this more so than it did when it was, you can go back to your own home, come back, do this. I'm feeling this little setting right now.
Yeah.
That I'm ready to love. I think Will Pack and them did a good job on this so far.
Yeah.
We still got more episodes to go, but right now I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit a bell notification. Make sure you don't miss any of our reviews. If you like Married at First Sight, check out the review of that as well.
Yep. Thanks.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.